This episode of The Edge is brought to you by Audible.com, offering more than 180,000 titles for smartphone, tablet, and desktop. To get a free audiobook of your choice and help Trek.fm at the same time, visit audibletrial.com/trekfm. And also by Enterprise in Space, an international program of the nonprofit National Space Society. Find out how you can help science and education and become a virtual crew member aboard the NSS Enterprise Orbiter by visiting enterpriseinspace.org. And if you want to join the conversation and share your thoughts on this episode, join the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook. Just type BABEL into the Facebook search field. We look forward to seeing you there.
You're listening to Trek FM.
What have you done out there on the edge of Federation space?
Oh!
And we're live.
We are live.
We're live.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Brandi.
Hi.
What happened to your voice?
I'm being reverent. In church, they would tell us to be reverent when what they really meant was to be quiet. Those are two very different things.
Well, they need to get that right next time.
Yeah, they're not ever gonna.
I'm sorry, I was just sipping on some Jipper, so we'll get to that later.
We're off to the races. Yes.
We are off to the races. Okay, hey. We just watched Short Treks. It actually worked this time for me, and it worked this time for you, Brandi. Like,
yeah,
we're doing good here.
We are doing so well. And as I did say in the Facebook group, I've learned how to sign into CBS All Access with my Amazon account. You can too. Just go to cbs.com/Amazon and follow the instructions. And you too can use your Amazon account to log into CBS All Access.
That's awesome. How did you find out about that?
I remember when I had trouble with the second short, there was someone in the chat room that had talked about being able to sign in with her Amazon account. And I thought, I'm going to figure that out. And so I did.
Well, I think that's great because, yeah, if you're getting CBS All Access through Amazon, you have a choice of watching it through the Amazon app or through the CBS All Access app. So that's fabulous.
Yeah, both of them work now. So I'm very thrilled with that. So take that to the bank, guys. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
I think CBS is taking it to the bank along with Amazon. That's what it is.
Everybody's banking it. Where's mine? Where's mine? I want some of that bank.
They should pay us to watch Star Trek.
Okay, I don't know how that would work.
I don't know either.
I want to be like a playtester, or I guess it's a focus group. I want to be in a focus group for Star Trek. That would be like the dream.
Yeah, well, they'll probably never get you out of there. You're like, I have more. I have more.
I have a whole page of notes here. You guys need to buckle in and shut your mouths. I'm ready.
Hey, you know what? We should get ready to talk about the escape artist.
Let's do it.
So, first of all, I just want to welcome everyone in the chat in our YouTube page here. I see a few people chirping away already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
my hubby's there as per usual.
I see Rhea H saying, whoop, whoop, my first chat. Well, welcome, Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chuppy, first time too. Wow, we got some first timers. This is really awesome.
Yeah, we got Chris Trabuzio up in here. That is you, right, Chris? I don't know. There's too many Trek fan names. So tell me if it's really you, Chris.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Like, does he have a car?
Okay, before everyone starts tuning out, let's go ahead.
It is really Chris. Thank you.
See, yeah, I figured it was too, yeah. You said yes. See, this is the beauty of being live. If you're listening to this later as a podcast, really, come join us live. You know, may not be convenient for you at the time, but maybe sometime it will, just like some of the people who are jumping in now for the first time. It's a lot of fun, not just to interact briefly with us, but because the group kind of goes off in their own conversation, so everybody gets to know everyone. So it's a great way to meet other Star Trek fans who like Star Trek Discovery. And speaking of Star Trek Discovery, we had our short treks. That's what we're going to talk about now. And it is the episode, The Escape Artist, and it focuses on Harry Mudd. This is our 4th short treks. And it's our last short treks for this season before we go into season 2 of Discovery. But, we are going to get more short treks sometime, I guess, after season 2. So I'm looking forward to that.
I love it. I'm all for more short treks.
Oh, and by the way, I'm Bruce Gibson. I don't know if I introduced myself.
I don't know. You probably didn't. I don't remember.
I know I said your name, Brandi, but I didn't really introduce you.
I'm Brandi Jackola. Hi. Or Brandi Jackola. It doesn't really matter how you pronounce
it. That drives me crazy because I never know what to refer you as, Jackola or Jackola. And you always say that. You can say
either one.
You always say that. You always say either one.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, you can call me Gibson or Gibson.
Oh, can I call you Gibson?
There you go, Gibson. Oh, gosh. Okay, so...
Sorry.
I've never been called that before. Thank you very much. Although I will say real quick, I've been called Gibsoni before because when I get board my Delta flights, I'm Gibson the second, and it will show up on my ticket or whatever. It will say Gibson 11 spushed together, and so it looks like Gibsoni. Just saying.
I will tell you a funny joke about that later. Remind me.
Okay, I'm writing that down right now. So, how'd you think? Let me go start at the very beginning of this short treks, The Escape Artist. How did you like how the opening theme started off?
I actually really enjoyed it because there was an Escape Artist television show, but I actually really enjoyed it. It was very late 70s / early 80s sort of thing, and it tickled me pink because that was some of my most formative years was during late 70s, early 80s. So yes, I am that old, guys. I am. So it really tickled me pink. Well, I thought it was a nice retro reference.
Yeah, same here. And I remember as it started, that music started playing, I started to shimmy. Like just watching like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun, I think, And then I realized later, this is, like you said, late 70s, maybe like disco music. Disco. See what I did there? I
do see that.
So clever sometimes. Not always. Most of the time, not. So how dare you put your hands on me? You filth. So before we get into that and putting hands on each other, what did you go into this? What was your attitude of a Harry Mudd episode? Were you looking forward to that? Or did you have reservations about it? Because we never had an episode that was just focused with Harry Mudd as the main character.
Well, I'll tell you what. I like Rainn Wilson's interpretation of Harry Mudd. So I was very welcoming to see a short because I thought it would be entertaining. I didn't know what to expect other than it would be entertaining. That's all I wanted out of it, and I got that and more. So I was ready for it. I was looking forward to it because he's made the character palatable to me, even though he's a despicable person.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and I do love Rainn Wilson's portrayal of Harry Mudd. I don't know. I would say maybe this one I was the least interested in going into. It's just, I mean, Harry Mudd's an okay character, but I'm not a big fan of Harry Mudd, and I was just like, well, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't looking forward to it, but I was least interested in this one, as so the others. But I was pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed it. It was. If you're going and expecting to have fun, I think you'll come out of that. If you're just expecting to take it too seriously, then you're not probably going to have that much fun with it.
Well, anyone who knows anything about Harry Mudd, past or present, knows that you cannot take him too seriously. Although he did some really good, scary, serious stuff in Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. But, the Harry Mudd in the original series to me was just very two-dimensional. But this Harry is different. He is not just, a dumb con man. He's an intelligent one. Yeah, he's not as intelligent to be the smartest man in the room every time, but he's definitely the craftiest.
Yes, he is. Like cheese. Very crafty. Yeah, I really did enjoy this one. I watched it once and then quickly watched parts of it again, and I'm looking forward to watching it another time too. So should be good. I'm just curious now because I haven't been looking in the chat as we're talking.
Oh no, let's look at the chat.
Let's look at the chat. What are people saying? I don't know. Okay. Chuppy says, I hope that's right. Is it Chuppy or Chuppy? Chuppy? I thought this was hilarious. I didn't really look forward to it, but man, it was funny. Oh, good. See? That's what I thought too. That's good. Okay, so that's one that thinks it's funny.
Excellent.
What else do we have here? Rhea says, yep, was funny. I love the twist at the end. Ooh, yes. And we'll get to that. We will get to that. Oh, the last scene was so TOS. Yes. Oh, yeah. And we'll get to that too. Is it? Okay. Jackola. I don't know. Anyway, that's in the chat too.
Yeah, that's the Finnish spelling, which would actually be pronounced. Well, actually, I think the Finnish spelling is Jakkol. It's Jackola. It's basically the Finnish version of Jackson, like one of the most common Finnish names there are. Anyway.
Cedric says, I still haven't watched the episode, but I just wanted to say hi. So hi, everyone. Have a nice live. I will listen to it later. Hi.
Hi.
I don't know if you're still there, but, we're going to spoil this for you, if you don't mind that.
Yeah.
Okay. Love the opening music. That's good. Chris complains about me dancing. That's great.
You're just feeding him, Chris. You're just feeding him.
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Okay. So Dan Gunther of Kurtrax Productions says Rainn Wilson directed it too, right?
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
That is true. Very good job, Rainn Wilson. If you're listening, maybe is Rainn Wilson in the chat? If so, just speak up.
Rainn, are you here? Even if you're here under an assumed name, just, give us a little signal. We'll know it's you.
So Wes says it was funny, but not as funny as Runaway. I think, well, gosh, because Tilly, that's a good one. I think I may have laughed. I don't know. Maybe I would agree with that. Maybe I think Runaway was a little funnier because this is kind of dark. He's getting beat up and, being manipulative in this episode. I mean, there's parts that are funny. I don't know. It's a different type of humor. What do you think?
Well, I can't compare them because, like you said, they are two different kinds of humor. That's like comparing Monty Python with Kids in the Hall. You just can't do it. Yes, they're both ensemble things, but that's where the similarities end. So it's just, yeah, I wouldn't say one was necessarily funnier than the other because they both had comedic aspects, but I think there were deeper, more serious things going on with Tilly in Runaway than there were with Harry in The Escape Artist. So, but yeah, it was a different kind of funny for me. So I can't really say one was funnier than the other because they're just too different.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. But I will say that this one probably I got a bigger laugh at one point than I would have in Runaway. So that was towards the end when the doors parted and there was all this jippering going on. I want to get to that, but before we get to that, man, I don't know. I don't know if we should just go through the episode or just randomly hit things. I mean, this is live. It's not like those other shows here on The Edge where everybody takes it so seriously and it's all planned and they have notes and we're just off the cuff just seeing this, you know?
Yeah, this is improv up in here, kids.
This is improv. So let me ask you this. Did you know that was a Tellarite?
Yes, I did know that was a Tellarite, because of the tusks and the nose.
Okay. That's what I thought too. I thought that's a Tellarite. Then after a while, I'm like, or is it? And then I was like,
well,
then it was later said, but I was pretty sure it was a Tellarite because I know the makeup, the look of the Tellarites are a little different than what we've seen in past Star Trek series, but we have seen this updated look of the Tellarites on Discovery before.
Yes, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, I've never seen a bald Tellarite before, and then I thought, or have I? Because I think I might have seen one. Did I see one in the Mirror Universe? I can't remember now. Rewatch.
Yeah. Which is kind of disgusting that Harry Mudd slept with his sister. He liked the tusks.
I don't know that he did it because he liked anything. I think he did it to get the cudgel.
The cudgel. Did you know what a cudgel was? Because Harry didn't.
Yes, I did.
I didn't know what a cudgel
D&D.
was.
I played D&D before.
Oh, D&D.
Yeah, played D&D.
Okay. Because when I thought, okay, is cudgel a real thing? And then I had to search for it. And I saw it says a short, thick stick used as a weapon. And that's how it was described in the episode, too. Oh, yeah, now that I see it, yeah, I've seen these.
Yeah, you can make them fancy if you want, but basically it's a crude club.
Why? What's the big deal about getting a cudgel stolen? What made this one so great, though?
It was passed down from generation to generation, and it had gold on it, apparently.
Okay.
At least that's what it looked like when we saw it in that final shot.
Hey, well, or latinum. They mentioned latinum.
Latinum. Either way.
Yeah, I know, but I love that they mentioned latinum. This is the first time we've heard latinum mentioned in the 22nd century or 23rd century.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like, even if Starfleet or the Federation doesn't use currency anymore, which I don't know if we're at that point yet, but probably close to it, that doesn't mean that other races don't. Because obviously, we know from Deep Space Nine that money still exists and is used by other races, other planets. So yeah, of course there's going to be latinum out there.
Yes. I see in the chat that this was an heirloom and had jewels on it. It looked like.
Yeah, so. That's fair. An heirloom cudgel. Oh, Dan. You make me chuckle as per usual.
Hey, when this episode started off, I thought it felt very much like Star Wars to me. Did you get that feeling? I guess it was because it was, you have bounty hunters and the interior of the ship, and it just reminded me kind of like, the dirty side of Star Wars.
Yeah. Or it actually didn't remind me of Star Wars so much as I just thought, okay, that's a Tellarite. This is reminding me of Enterprise when Archer gets captured by a Tellarite who's turning him back into the Klingon Empire so that he can get money to buy his ship back. That's actually what I was thinking. It's like, oh, Tellarites have a tendency to be bounty hunters. This is the second one I've seen.
Yes. So, okay, I'm going to ask this question to you and to the group. Was that Voke? There was a Klingon.
Oh.
That he stomped on. Harry's like, oh, he's doing his, oh, how dare you put your hands on me? Oh, don't do anything. It was a real quick scene. But I thought it looked like Voke.
It's possible. It depends on how long ago those events were.
Yeah.
Because that obviously wasn't the funeral ship. Well, at least it didn't look like the funeral ship. I don't know. It was such a short thing. So it's possible it could be Vogue. I'm going to have to go back and watch it in freeze frame and really study it.
I'm wondering if it's something where Vogue, because, he's not on that ship anymore, the funeral ship. And he and L'Rell find some other way to get a ship or whatever. Because, when Harry Mudd was captured, he wasn't on that ship. He was on a different Klingon ship.
Yeah.
And so maybe Vogue captured him before he went through his transformation into Tyler. because this was all the plan. He was working with Laurel. And so Voke captured him first and before he transferred.
I just don't know, because I don't know how long it would have taken to transform him. I don't know how many weeks or months that might have taken.
Yeah.
It's just impossible to say.
Well, if it took several months, then that means they would have, if my theory is correct, that means then Harry had been captured and imprisoned for months.
Which is quite possible, because he knew how to stay alive.
Yeah.
Just to always give his punishment to somebody else.
So. The chat, some say Voke, some say looks like Voke, scene was brief. Maybe the female claim, maybe Laurel, maybe, it's something. Yeah, we got to freeze frame and look. But to me, it looked like Voke, but I'm not positive myself. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Or maybe it's Voke's brother, Boke. Voke and Boke. They're twins.
Right.
And then we had we had a bounty hunter that captured Harry Mudd. By the way, that just reminds me, we have all these different sets. I was very impressed that they had a variety of sets for this. No wonder this was the last one, because it probably took the longest to make. Oh,
definitely. Definitely, because there were so many different locations and scene changes necessary. And it was just really perfectly done. It was fun. It's like, oh, he's going to have another flashback. Okay. Where is he this time? And it always starts out with him just repeating the same things that he has said to everyone else. And so I don't know who the small woman was that had lost her ship.
Yeah, I don't know what species that was either.
I don't know the species, but I thought it was fun. It was fun. I know exactly where I am. And they turn a corner and you hear a noise, and then they come back out. Yep. That's comedy gold right there.
Right
there. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Kindred spirits. So we also had Orions.
Yes.
And they have security cameras.
Yes.
We learned that too. What else?
Apparently, if you're not a big beefy Orion, you're kind of dumb.
or green with envy. Or greener. Greener with envy. More green.
Greener.
Hey, green. And we saw a new ship, the DeMilo.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Even though how much you want to bet they used the Discovery sets for that?
I bet they did. I bet they redressed them.
You don't think they rebuilt a whole new ship just for the DeMilo for this episode?
Nope.
No, of course not.
It's not cost effective. It's not cost effective at all.
So Dave is asking, is each flashback from a different mud droid, a hive mind of sorts?
Well, now you've gone and spoiled it, Dave.
Well, we're ready to go into that now.
Yeah, I know.
We're sipping on Jipper on the beach.
Yep. Yes, we certainly are.
I did think about that. I think the droids were programmed with certain, it was like he was having memories. So yeah, I think I don't know if I guess memories of each droid experience. I actually think that those are actual mud experiences, not droid experiences that the droid is programmed to remember. But that's that's a really good question.
Well, it's
because Harry's not going to Harry can't dump his memories into these units, can he?
Well, I don't know. If he has a strong enough Wi-Fi signal, I'm sure he could link up to all of them. Just a thought. I don't know. Maybe there is some kind of hive mind. I just don't know. There's not enough information, but no, I like the idea.
No, it raises a really good question. Those memories that we were just talking about with the Orions and Voke or not Voke and the short alien female, is that memories, or was that a different droid's experiences, or even this droid's experience, or the actual mud? That's interesting. I don't think we'll ever know the answer to that.
That's true. That is true. But I'm pretty sure that the whole Klingon thing was definitely mud, because we know that he was captured by the Klingons. But that's the only one we can be sure that was an actual mud memory and not necessarily a mud droid memory.
Oh, so how do you know that the mud on the Klingon ship was the real mud and not an android mud?
Because I don't think that he had come up with that particular scam yet.
Maybe not. I don't know.
We just don't know. Well, was the mud who was in Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad? Was that the real mud?
Right.
How do we know?
Was it? Yeah, that one
Probably.
I'm sure it was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Wow, gosh, now I forget what I was going to ask. Well, we can edit this out later.
No, we can't.
Well, okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say. This is why we need to go back and watch it again. So when the doors part and you see the other android muds, they're all wearing different clothing. Are any of them wearing clothing that was seen in those other scenes, those flashback scenes? That would answer if they were the droids, those droids or not. That I want to go back and look at. What was he wearing with the Orions, with Voke, or not Voke, or that other alien, the kindred
Voke
spirit?
or Voke.
What was he wearing there? And are those clothes being worn by one of those droids in that cell where they're doing the jipper on the beach?
Now that's interesting. I wonder if he is in the same outfit in every one of those flashbacks.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, rewatch time. This one's messing with my head and I like it.
So I really want to sing like Sipping on Jipper on a Beach. Like I want to write a whole disco song around that.
Oh, sweet. I'll sing backup. You got to have backup in a disco song.
Sipping. I don't even know how I was going to rap it there for a second. That's not disco. Oh, maybe it's like Bee Gees, like sipping on jipper on a beach. I don't know. What do I know?
Wow, you can really get up there. I'm proud of you.
I had to squeeze to make that happen. That hurts. So
Squeeze what?
my throat. Like that. There. Anyway, use your imagination. So I'm going to be in Las Vegas next week. And when you walk around Vegas, like in the casinos, it's funny. You pass like a lot of drinks and bars. Every bar I go to, when somebody says, "Oh, well, can't get you a drink, sir," I'm going to say "Jipper on a beach" and see what anybody says.
That's hilarious. I want to know how that turns out.
I will let you know. Does anybody have any questions in the chat they want to ask us? Is anybody left in the chat? Hello, McFly.
Hello? Anyone? Oh, Dave had a good point that he thinks it was the Real Mud's memories because the Real Mud sought revenge.
Yes. Now, you told me before the show that Dave figured out he was an android before it was revealed.
It wasn't so much that he figured out that he was an android, but that he figured out that the bounty hunter was Harry Mudd. But which, in turn, follows through that that's not the real Harry Mudd. We weren't thinking necessarily android I wasn't thinking android at the time. But when he said, "Oh, the bounty hunter's Harry," I'm just like, what? I wasn't thinking hard enough about it, so it didn't occur to me at the time.
Me either.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, baby, you caught that one. Nice one."
Well, I mean, because the shape, the body form of that bounty hunter does not fit the body form of Harry Mudd.
Not unless he's had a few ribs removed and is wearing a really tight corset.
So here's my prediction. In the future, you can have form-fitting clothes, meaning it creates a different form for your body. Now,
okay, yeah.
That's why. So what I'm getting at is, for example, on TNG, all those crew members were out of shape, but they were wearing uniforms that actually reformed their body to make them look fit. Once they take them off, it all just hangs out. And I think that's probably what's going on with Harry here. Harry puts on the form fitting and changes his form. I don't know.
Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure his ribs would have gotten in the way of having a waist that small.
Well, Rhea says he's wearing a Shatner-esque girdle.
Even so, the actual structure of the male body is so different from a female because women are shaped generally like pears and men are shaped more like triangles. So it would be very difficult to, without a lot of work, to, make a man look convincingly enough. A man that tall look like a convincing woman, I should say.
And
for a minute, I thought, did they get Susie Plaxon for that?
This sounds like really a lesson from Sesame Street,
Yeah, I mean, I know drag queens. Yeah, I know drag queens do it all the time, but it's not easy, and it isn't, comfortable either. Especially not. I mean, it's not comfortable for women. Do you think corsets and bras are comfortable? They are not.
So
not even a little.
I would assume, based on this conversation and what you've said, that you do not believe that was Rainn Wilson in that outfit.
Not a snowball's chance in hell was he the one in that suit in the beginning of the show.
He was directing the person who was in that suit.
Yes, he was.
Well, good. That's why he's such a great director.
Exactly. Can direct while he's acting.
Yes, that's good. Did anything else stand out in this episode that you want to talk about? Any scenes or anything about the resistance? The resistance. It's a secret resistance.
Yeah, a secret resistance of one. Because he has made it clear. He made it clear the first time that we see him when they're all in the Klingon prison together that he has no love for the Federation. That, you come by and you do these things and then you don't know what it's really like down on these planets for all the little people. So just trying to eke out a living. You don't know what it's like for them. And he kind of has a point. But, I think that the resistance is real and it's just one person, and that's Harry Mudd.
Yeah. Agreed. I see Rhea says the resistance stuff definitely had a Star Wars vibe, and I agree that because, resistance is part of Star Wars now. And I did think that, but, she corrected her spelling from vibe to vibe.
We knew what you meant.
We knew what you meant. So, or I thought it was Viv, like Vivian Vance from I Love Lucy. So what am I talking about? I've had too much of that jipper.
Dude, lay off the jipper before the live show.
Anyway, before that was mentioned about resistance in here, I was getting the Star Wars vibe earlier. But no, I mean, it didn't feel like exactly like Star Wars. There was just something about it at the beginning that made me think of it. So, but yeah, Tevrin Crit is our Tellarite. Yes, you can now tweet to me at Trevrin Crit. That's my new handle.
Yeah, too bad the sister doesn't get a name. Come on, doesn't she deserve a name too? I mean, granted, she's not on screen, but...
It's Rebecca Crit. I don't know.
Rebecca? Of all the names you could pick, it's Rebecca.
I just went there. I don't know. Well,
it's fine.
The chat's saying Harry Mudd, brown shirt, brown coat.
You meant brown coat, as in Firefly.
I was like, wait, what?
brown shirt's a Nazi.
Did you mean vibe or brown coat?
He meant brown coat. And Rhea said what I was thinking about resistance, because I was just going to say resistance is futile.
Yes, there you go. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Because it's futile. Yeah, but yeah, I have no problem with there being a resistance because in his mind, I'm sure it's some grandiose thing that he's doing his part to resist the Federation. And yeah, it's just him.
So Rainn Wilson is in the chat and says that was not him in that outfit.
Yep, not surprised.
Okay. So, thank you, Rainn. You
yeah, how did you know about this? Are you on Twitter, Rainn? Are you watching us? Rainn knows all.
He does.
He's like Santa.
Yeah,
okay, no.
He knows if we've been naughty or nice. Because he tunes to the show.
Oh,
I really liked this episode. It was fun. I mean, I wouldn't want this in every Star Trek episode. I wouldn't want a Harry Mudd series, but this is what's so great about short treks. It gives us that little off to the side story. Actually, I was kind of hoping it was going to fill in the blanks of how he got from the Klingon ship to the Discovery when he was penetrating a space whale.
Yep. And I was thinking maybe it would be that too, but I just didn't have really any expectations other than, a bit of a romp. And that's what I got, was a romp. But it's one thing I did really like is the way the flashbacks happened, because he was so good at saying the same line the same way every time.
Yes.
Same facial expression, almost exactly the same body position, it was just, I loved that.
This is his thing. Yeah. This is what he just does all the time. He keeps falling into these same situations.
Yes. And we also get a list of all of the crimes that he has committed. And he's got definitely a darker side, because how many counts of attempted murder were there?
Yeah, I was going to write that down. I didn't, though.
It's like 25?
Something like that, yeah.
It was a lot. So this guy, not harmless at all.
No.
No.
It'd be interesting to watch Harry Mudd in the original TOS episodes and see if you look at him differently now.
No, because I don't think that I could stomach it.
Well, you weren't feeling well before the show.
Don't talk about it. Because I don't want to barf on camera.
Oh, no, we don't want that.
I'm not going to barf, people. It's fine. Believe me, I would rather die than throw up.
Dan says he's a Rain Man. He's a Rain Man. He's a Rain Man. This is going back to those days that we were talking about.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Christopher Hill says, I loved it. It's definitely one of the best. Also, how many of those were just Lorca?
No, I'm pretty sure that they weren't all considered to be Lorca, because I think that it had been hundreds of times by the point of the end of that episode. So, that he had killed Lorca.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I don't think they're counting those at all, because that would have been actual murder, not attempted murder. But because the timeline kept resetting, I don't think that they could make that stick in a court of law.
Right. We know at least one would be attempted murder, but you're right. Other times he murdered, that would, yeah. So that one does count. So Chris says in the chat, oh boy, Bruce lost it. Chris, you're just catching up? I lost it a long time ago.
I was going to say, did you ever have it to start with? Sorry. I'm sorry.
I haven't been able to find it. That's all.
You're my friend. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
It's because you love me that you can say that.
I tease because I care.
I don't have anything more to say about the episode. I thought it was great.
The only other thing I have to say is that I wish that there was a full cast list, because not all of the people who had speaking lines are listed in the credits.
Oh.
And I want to know who the Orion woman was, because she looks a hell of a lot like Janet Varney. But I don't think it was her, because now actually seeing her in action, I don't think it was her, but it was another very tall woman with a very similar look about her. So I just don't know. And I can't know until somebody gives me a full cast list. I checked IMDb. There's nothing.
Interesting. I wonder why.
I don't know, but there were like only 5 people given credit in the credits besides Rainn Wilson, and none of them were the Orion female, or even the Orion male, as far as I could tell. And
it's almost like, is it some kind of cameo that some fairly known actor and actress filled in, but they're uncredited?
Yeah, but still,
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out at some point.
Yes, but I want to know now.
Well, Rainn Wilson, if you're still in the chat, let us know who they were.
Yeah, we need to know. Because actually, about 2 months ago, I think, I saw a picture of Rainn Wilson with both of those people in costume.
That's right. We did see that.
And that's when I thought, because my husband was showing it to me, and he's like, I think that's Janet Varney. I'm like, I can't really tell with the makeup. I'd have to hear her talk, and after hearing her talk, I'm not convinced it was Janet Varney. But man, whoever that woman is, if she's not Janet Varney, she looks so much like her, it's uncanny.
We'll have to find out.
And now everybody's quickly Googling Janet Varney because they don't know who she is.
Well, no, you know what we have to do? This is what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to go to Twitter, because if she's on Twitter, are people asking her and is she answering?
Ooh,
right?
That's a good point.
Let's see what's going on here. Janet Varney. Varney. What else has she been in?
Well, she's currently in an IFC series called Stand Against Evil, which I absolutely love. She's actually one of the co-founders and co-creators and co-runners of San Francisco Sketch Fest. She does a lot of improv stuff. She has her own podcast called The JV Club.
But that's not on the Trek FM network.
No, that is actually on the Maximum Fun Network. Sorry, guys. It's not about Star Trek.
Oh. I don't know. I'm not finding anything right now on Twitter.
Well, I know she's on Twitter.
Yes, I found her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, yes, she was also on You're the Worst, which is another television show that's on FX. And she's one of the most delightful people. I really like her a lot. Her laugh makes me laugh. I just don't know. You would think she would be promoting it if it was her.
I don't know. Maybe she's like Whoopi Goldberg. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. Anything else?
No, I think that about covers it. I had a good time with this episode, which is what I was there for, and I was rewarded.
Me too, yes. I quite enjoyed it. I agree with you that Rainn Wilson is a great Harry Mudd, and he did a great job directing this episode. And again, I really love seeing all the sets. There was a lot of investment and time put into this one, for sure.
There really was. I was very impressed by the continuity of the flashbacks and the same lines and the way he said them and all of that. It was just very pleasing. Very pleasing unto me.
Yes. And I just love it when we see a new Federation ship too. That's always cool to me.
Absolutely. It had a lot of red on it.
Yes.
Like somebody had taken a ketchup bottle, and no, I'm just kidding.
Well, they were
Now
originally going to call it the
it.
USS Heinz. And they didn't get
Like,
approval.
really?
Yeah.
Really? The Heinz family still around? Come
Yes,
on.
yes. And
They bought a starship?
Heinz Field, Steelers are still playing there. The whole thing. It's still going in the 23rd century.
Yay! Crazy. Okay.
All right. Well, let's close this out then, if we're done.
Okay. I'll do that thing.
Yeah, you do your thing. Do you have a voice you want to do today, or are you just going to be you?
I'm going to do the Reverend Child in Church.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Go right ahead, my dear.
Okay. So be sure to check out our Discovery coverage throughout the week. Live from the Edge airs on Fridays now. It'll be Fridays.
I honestly, I don't think you can get through the whole thing like that.
Oh, I totally can.
I know you can, but I don't know if the rest of us can.
Oh, fine. Live from the Edge is going to air from this point on Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Commentaries will be available as tracks from the Edge. We will discuss your feedback, fan feedback on Postcards from the Edge, and you can catch the full analysis on the Edge main show. And of course, there's also Notes from the Edge with our own Chris Jones, and he will give you links between Discovery and the broader franchise. All of these shows you will find in the main feed for the Edge and in the Trek.fm master feed. Now, of course, as per usual, if you weren't a part of this live broadcast, we want to hear your thoughts on Discovery, and you know how to do that, guys. Come to the live show. But if you can't do that, go to the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook, and Amy Nelson will use that area to also collect your feedback for Postcards from the Edge. You can also find us on Twitter at TrekFM or send us an email using the contact form on our website at trek.fm/contact. You just choose to send to a show and choose the Edge. And now I have a very long list of wonderful associate producers. And again, if I mispronounce anyone's name, I'm very sorry. So buckle in. Here we go. Norman Seelau, Tony Robinson, Thomas Paleo, Lisa Slack, Shoaib Mirza, Richard Rutledge, James Muldrow, Cornelia Reutner, Ryan Maylett, Chris Trabuzio, and Brian Maloche. New addition, Brian Maloche. If I have not said your name right, then it is your responsibility to tell me I am wrong and tell me the proper way to say your name. Thank you. So we really appreciate all of these associate producers for supporting Trek FM and, of course, for supporting the Edge specifically. And if you want to help us keep all of our shows going and even become an associate producer, you can go to patreon.com/TrekFM for all the details. Bruce! Where the heck can people find you? Where the heck can people find you when you are not confusing Star Trek and Star Wars?
Well, when I'm not confusing Star Wars and Star Trek while eating French fries with Heinz ketchup, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Kevin Crit. No, I'm at Admiral_Rex. That's Admiral with an underline Rex. You can also find me here on the network on Trek FM doing Literary Treks. It's the official books and comics show of the Trek FM network. I do that with Dan Gunther, who's in the chat right now. And I also do the Star Wars Report podcast about Star Wars, I think. Or is it Star Trek? I don't know. I get those confused. And of course, I'm always in the Babel Conference. And wait, you didn't say where we can find you yet, right?
No.
Well, when you're not drinking a bottle of Heinz ketchup, where can people find you?
No, I have to say this really quick. They were talking about the Heinz ketchup bottle ship. There's like his bottle class.
And they have to slap the Heinz ship on the aft to make it go to warp. You slap it with the bottle.
On the dedication, it says, "Ain't no other Heinz" on the dedication plaque because Heinz bought the naming rights. And maybe there's 57 varieties too. And
it's the NC57. That's what, those are all in the chat. This group is very active when it comes to ketchup.
Oh, you know,
I like mayonnaise with my fries, I'm just saying. And for, our UK listeners, I like mayonnaise with my chips. But anyway, go ahead, Brandi. Where can people find you when you're not slapping a bottle of ketchup?
Well, I wouldn't be slapping a bottle of ketchup because in this state we have fry sauce. Don't know what it is? Google it. You can find me on Twitter at Brandywine12. Brandy's with an I, 12 is a number. You can find me on the Trek FM network doing Warp 5, the Star Trek Enterprise podcast, which I really, really love with my friend Patrick Devlin. And you'll also find me lurking in the Babel Conference. And of course, I do a podcast with my wonderful, fantastical, cuddly husband, Dave, called the Dark Corner Podcast, which you can find at darkcornerpodcast.com, where we look at whatever we want through sort of a darker lens and, talk about stuff and things, mostly nerdy. Mm-hmm. We're very nerdy.
Imagine
There's swears in that one. So just beware.
I swear there's swears.
I swear. And I swear.
So I just looked up fry sauce because you said to look it. I think I've had this before. This actually looks good to me.
It is the best. It's better than ketchup. It's better than mayonnaise because it takes both of those things to another level.
And I also see something here. Is this for real? Heinz mayo chup?
Unfortunately.
Mayo chup saucy sauce. Is that the same thing?
They'd like to think so, but it's not.
Oh, and then there's Stevens Gourmet fry sauce.
Now that's good.
Okay, well, I know what I'm going to be ordering tonight.
Fry sauce. It's good, guys.
Fry sauce. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Christopher says barbecue for him on fries.
Barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
For fries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
To each their own.
Exactly. Oh, I love gravy on my fries, too. Okay, anyway.
Oh, yeah. Vinegar, malt vinegar.
Oh, yes. I just did that the other day. When I have my fish and chips, I always have to have vinegar on both. I just keep pouring it on. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like vinegar with chips better than I do with fries. In England, they're the same thing.
Exactly.
Well,
chips or something here. It's crisps there. Fries. Anyway. Hey, yeah. So join us next time. So Discovery season premiere for season 2 is on the 17th of January, just in 2 weeks. This live show, as Brandi mentioned, it will now be on the next night, on Friday nights now. It will be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
I said it wrong. Thank you for correcting me.
Did you say it wrong? I didn't even notice.
I did. I'll change it right now in my notes so I won't ever mess it up again.
Well, in the show notes, it's right.
I know, but my notes are different from the show notes because I had to redo the closing stuff because everything changed.
Got it. So yeah, again, Discoveries come on Thursdays. We will go live on Fridays the following night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So that's standard time until we go daylight saving time.
And then it'll still be the same time because we both live in states that observe daylight savings time.
Yes. It gets all confusing.
And I've officially killed it. I mean, literally, it's DOA. Okay, then.
Well, live long and prosper, and
keep calm and disco on.
Jipper on a beach. Ooh. Jipper on a beach. Ooh.
Oh. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Seriously, I hope we weren't too silly for you.
I hope we were too silly for you. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.